already packing your stuff to move to Sweden, or you just start learning about this wonderful country. I'm here to give you some tips I wish to know before coming here. I really love Sweden, and acknowledging these things I think really will help you to make your process of relocating to Sweden smoother and easier. The first thing is documents. Here there's almost no life without personal number or bank ID. You cannot open bank account without your personal number, and you cannot register almost in any sites, so everything is really linked to personal number. Everyone in every shop they will ask you about personal number. For instance, if you go into Lidl and you will get a membership card, the first thing they ask you is social number. And I think, and in almost all shops you can do the same with just email and your phone number, but for insurances or for bank it's very important for them to have personal number. And for insurances, in our case, we found the company that helped us, but the first thing you need to do when you just come to Sweden is to go to Skatteverket. This is like the tax agency. You can have all your documents prepared for Skatteverket. If you go and visit their website, you will find everything that's needed. They list some documents you need to bring with you, but if you don't have printer or anything, you can always come there and they will help you to print it out, to fill it. And so I think they're very friendly people there working, so it's pretty good experience, not really stressful. And after you apply to your documents, it's really good for you if you book and make appointment in advance, just after you gave the all documents for Skatteverket. You should book appointment to take the ID card. The ID card is something like you go into the Skatteverket or Migrationsverket, I'm not sure. You go into the office and they take photo of you. They also will ask you how tall you are. I don't know why they need it. Probably fingerprints, but I'm not sure. And after a week or two, you'll get your ID card. But all the information can be found on the Skatteverket site, so please check it. It's the only source of truth. The other thing is housing, and my colleagues frighten me that it's very difficult to find the apartment here, and it will take up to 2 months or more or less, but we're pretty happy with finding the apartment in just 1 week or 2 weeks, so I think this was enough for us. But this applies only for underhand apartments, and if you don't know, I would like to share this to you, that there are 2 types of renting apartment in Sweden. It's underhand and first hand, so it's kind of first and second hand. And first hand apartments is apartments that you rent from community, from the state or something, so from developers. They build the house and they're renting apartments out. And underhand is something that, for instance, people living in first-hand apartment and they moved abroad to work and they don't want to lose this apartment, so they rent it out to you, or they own this apartment. For instance, they bought apartments, they went to the university in other city and they decided to rent it. And again, this is how it is here, and underhand apartment is always more expensive than first-hand apartment. And I know there are some rules that the first-hand apartments that rented out to other person shouldn't be super expensive, and the price shouldn't be that different from the actual price for person who rents this first-hand. But and I think this first-hand apartment is very difficult to find. I was applying for 4 months, and I got only rejection, like, oh, unfortunately we found someone else, and so on. And this is mostly the automatical process. So when you just get your permit, I suppose, you need to apply for websites, Boplat and HomeQ. I think there's like main websites you can find apartments in, but it also depends on the city you're living in. For instance, for Stockholm it might be something different, or for Gothenburg, but in Gothenburg we usually use Bostat and HomeQ, and Bostat is very I don't know, I think in Bostat it's very difficult to find the apartment because Bostat is older than HomeQ. HomeQ is pretty new site, and it's like to get apartment in Bostat you need something like 10 years of living here in Sweden, because apartments both on HomeQ or Bostat or Boplas it's called, sorry if I misspoke it, so you can get apartment if you have enough points, and 1 point equals to 1 day. So earlier you apply to or just register on the site, earlier you will start get these points. And for instance, I'm living here almost 3 years and I have like 650 points or something. And for Boplatz or Bostat, I don't remember, but it will be here someone like, or in the description I link all the sites. And like you need 10 years or something, you can have like 1,800 points to get nice apartment. Or for instance in HomeQ the apartment I really loved, it was also like 2,000 points or 900 points, and like 900 points are kind of okay, but if you just came in here to Sweden, you just moved, it's very difficult to find these apartments. But also you can find the person who rented apartment like this and they want to move out, and they can suggest to you as a new rent person, tenancy I think it's called, like, so you can rent it firsthand if you're familiar with someone who's moving out, and you will be very lucky if you get this one when you just move here. But I also need to say that like first-hand apartments kind of cheap. For instance, living in 2 rooms apartment close to the city center for us for underhand cost 13,000 crowns, but if you will be living in the same district, you will get for first-hand apartment it will be something like 7,000 kronas or something. So it's very cheap compared to underhand, but at the same time it's very difficult to get it. And once you get the apartment on these websites I mentioned before, you will lose your points, like, because you rented out, so they're like, okay, it's 0 now, you need to keep and save them for later years. And I'm not sure, but I know that in HomeQ they doesn't like sum up if you registering with your partner. I think they will choose points, like the biggest points there, and they will take it from this partner. But I think applying together helps a lot, because they will see you have enough money and you're more financially reliable and stable, and yeah, so probably you'll get more like creditability or something. And also the other thing is in HomeQ you can also check for a random choice, because they sometimes have these apartments with no reliance on points but just only random stuff. Or sometimes I have like the first who applied to this apartment, but I did the random stuff as I told 4 months. It was awful. I just like, I got email every day. Unfortunately it's not for you. That's it. Okay, let's back to your personal number. And I think when you get personal number, don't forget to sign up for healthcare. And the website here is 1177. This is a website you can get all your appointments to the doctor. I don't know, like when I just came, they also sent me a mail, not the email, but just mail, the paper doc, about inviting me to doctor to check some stuff with gynecology or something. And we didn't get it, but I know some of my friends got the invitation to the just therapist doctor, and they checked like how are you, like did you have any illnesses in your home country, or like something you need to worry about, and so on. So this process might be different from person to person. Oh yeah, and this test that or in this invitation they sent to me, it was to take the pap test for me. I think they do it for all coming immigrants from different countries. I also need to warn you that sometimes it takes months to get the appointment. So if you know something needs to be checked, do it as quick as you can. I also need to check my hormones level, and it took 2 or 3 months to do it because it wasn't an emergency, and I understand it. And as I understood here, it's kind of a lack of medical employers, and not there are many doctors here and nurses as well, so they're really keeping them for emergency cases. But in case if you're dying, they will make it very fast for you to help. And yeah, I think like emergency cases here is very good served. But something like I don't know, my friend, he broke the leg and he was waiting for help already in the hospital. He was sitting there for 11 or 12 hours because there like only one doctor or something else, and the pretty old lady came in very bad shape, and they took her cutting the queue, so they helping. And if you have your broken leg, you can wait. Also, as I understood, there are almost no private clinics, so you cannot like go and pay, or it will be over expensive, like super extra expensive. And because when we came here, it was still Corona time, and I remember like in the governmental hospital it cost nothing to do this test, but in private clinic it was 100 euro or something. So I was like, for the test? Really? Also, when you come in here to Sweden, you will notice that almost everyone knows English perfectly and they're kind of fluent with it. But I think it's very important to start learning Swedish, and you can do it if you have personal number for free. You can get applied to SFI course. This course is Swedish for immigrants, and this is like for free. And you could choose if it will be 2 days per week or intensive course where you will visit their school every day for 3 or 4 hours, if I'm not mistaken. But it's very controversial, I suppose, because some people told me like, oh, we really love this. The other were like, oh, it doesn't help you at all. And it really depends on the teacher who will teach you there on these courses, because like only the teacher makes the course very interesting, or it can make it very boring for you. Some friends of mine who are attending intensive course here, they told me that they have like guided tours like to the islands or to the I don't know, museums or anything, and it was very interesting. So they kind of have like opportunity to have conversations with a real person, and I found this very nice. It's much like more interesting than sitting in the classroom. And the other controversial topic is weather. When you come into Scandinavia, you expect it to be Pinterest weather, winter, with like a lot of snow and everything. But living here in Gothenburg, I think the winter here is very soft and warm, and there are not that much snow, I suppose. Like it stays for 2 or 3 days maximum, and most of the time it's raining during the winter. But during summer, it's also like you can have 1 week of raining, 1 week of sunny, and like some weeks are just like plus 16, so it's nothing like summer in Spain or I don't know, in Germany, where it's like 27, 30 degree. And yeah, it's kind of fun because I really used to have weather like this in Sweden during summer, and coming to like Turkey where it's plus 36, I'm like, I'm dying here, I'm melting literally. But also you need to know that Swedish winter is a lack of sun. It's very depressing, everything is so gray and dark. And I don't know, I even bought the special therapy lamp for my mental health, because every winter I'm like, I cannot do it anymore, I need some sun, I'm so depressed and stressed. And like what really helps me is to go and spend a week or two in Spain, because it's sunny there and much warmer, and then come back here, because I really love Sweden. And weather here during summer evenings like this one is wonderful, but winter is very difficult for me. And summer also is like almost endless day, because as you see it's not that dark here, and it's this much time, so like it's 10 p.m. So it's, I don't know, but like Swedish summer is very lovely time. My favorite thing here is you have no need to have a car or driving lessons, because public transportation is very very good here, and I think it's really convenient. And if you have a kid with stroller, it's also pretty convenient to go to the tram, to the bus. They also have these dedicated places, and I think like this is very useful to use public transportation, not your own car, because also like getting to the Gothenburg, for instance, from the suburban areas, you need to pay money. It's like paid ways, I don't know how it's called, but like you need to pay for ways, you need to pay for placing your car into some spot. So like this kind of expensive, I suppose, and probably it's cheaper to buy transport ticket. But transport tickets also, compared to the other European countries, it's kind of expensive. For instance, 1 month's ticket cost you 80 euros, and but it will allow you to go like within zone A, and also it's ferry included, bus included, trams included. So, and sometimes trains, for instance from Gothenburg I can go to Pertili by train or something. And this regular ticket, it includes, as I said, ferry. So I really recommend you to visit Gothenburg and archipelago, and I think it's from the city center is 40 or 1 hour away, so it's very not far, but it's very beautiful there. Also, I found that Swedish people really like spending time in nature, and they keep it really welcoming place. Swedes are also known as people who knows about their personal space, and they keep in distance from each other. And probably you saw this corona time meme about Swedes. You need to know that they're very very punctual, so don't be late, come just in time to meet them, otherwise he will be rude. In general, it's essential to research something about country, its culture, about I don't know, life there and take it into consideration. And also you need to know that life in Sweden differs like from city to city. For instance, living in Stockholm, it's a totally different experience from living in Malmö, from living in Gothenburg, or living in Linköping is different from living in Gothenburg as well. So you need to choose what your personal preferences are, and remember to plan ahead and calculate your budget for moving to Sweden, because Sweden is expensive country, as we been told. You probably know it, and the first months is the most expensive ones, and like you need to pay deposit for apartment, you need to pay for apartment, you need to find food. And also during this, like if you're coming from other countries, yes, you will be seeking for something that you're familiar with. You will be searching for your new favorite places, so you will explore a lot, and this has cost money, but it gives you some practical experience, I think. And I really hope that you will like Sweden as I do, and hear my video about 10 things I really like and appreciate about Sweden. Thank you. Puss puss.